ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Good morning and welcome to The Splash. I'm Erica Jones. Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday's edition of The Splash. The Splash is Greater West Bloomfield's very own daily TV, radio, and streaming show. You can watch us live Monday to Friday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Civic Center TV, Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, on the web at civiccentertv.com, on Civic Center TV's Facebook app, and listen to us live on 89.3 Lakes FM. The Splash Live is part of Civic Center TV and Lakes FM's 150 minutes of live local programming. Chilly start to the morning with temperatures in the mid-80s. You can expect it to warm up throughout the day for a high of 67 degrees. Tomorrow it looks to be a beautiful day, 80 degrees and sunny. And this weekend it looks like the sun will be out with temperatures touching 80 degrees. We have that to look forward to. Now, Kirk Pino from Crane's Detroit Business reports that a developer told West Bloomfield's Planning Commission he has Tesla lined up as the potential tenant for an old Barnes & Noble on Orchard Lake Road. This property on Orchard Lake Road has been vacant for years since Barnes & Noble closed. So now we know what could be lined up to take that spot. Tuesdays with Maury. Author Mitch Albom took to Twitter to announce his play Tuesdays with Maury, which has seen 600 productions around the world throughout the past 20 years. It's coming to Michigan, and more specifically, West Bloomfield. Productions will start on August 10th and run through September 18th in East Lansing, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, Bay Harbor, and West Bloomfield. The D-Zone preseason high school football rankings are out, and West Bloomfield Lakers are ranked as the number 5 team in the state after De La Salle, Detroit King, Belleville, and Rochester Adams. The annual OAA Football Media Day was held this past Friday at Rochester High School. Last season, West Bloomfield's Dylan Tatum had 16 touchdowns, 44 tackles, and 3 interceptions. I asked Coach Tyrese Grice from West Bloomfield High School which players are expected to step up this year and fill that hole in production.
Well, number one is returning backup running back, and that's Kenneth Jones. Kenneth Jones had a very productive this year. We have a long succession of good running backs coming out of West Bloomfield with Donald Edwards, Dylan Tatum. Next in line is Kenneth Jones, what we call nicknamed Jaws. So we look for him to really get out there and get some production. Also, we expect Rick Nance, a quarterback. He's a dual threat quarterback. So those two guys are going to make up the majority of our run game and our production on offense. And then we got Samaj Morgan and Dre Hill and Dante Pippen, play wide receiver, who committed to Saginaw Valley. Is going to be a big help for us. So those guys right there, we expect a lot of production for those guys.
Now, West Bloomfield is the only school in the AAA Red with 2 players ranked as top 10 prospects in the state of Michigan. So lots of eyes on West Bloomfield. What added pressure is put on your team knowing how many eyes are on your football field on Friday nights?
Well, we expect that. One thing about West Bloomfield, we do a good job historically with producing Division I, Division II players. So the expectations are always high. And that expectation is to win a state championship. We have the pieces, we have the tools, we have the coaching. More importantly, we have the players to win it all. So it's just a matter of us coming together as a team and try to reduce some of our penalty state discipline and really get out there and play that game of football.
Now, Coach, Adams is the one team that held your team from having a perfect season last year, and they are smack dab in the middle of your schedule on the road. What extra motivation do you and your guys have for that road matchup this season?
You know, since I've been here, we never lost to one team in the same year twice. So it's a little chip on our shoulder this year. It's on our calendar. A lot of players expecting that game. But again, we got to focus on game 1 with the expectations of winning that first game. And when we get ready for Rochester Adams, we'll be prepared and ready to get after those guys. But they're a great team. They're always going to be a great program, and every year is always competitive between us two. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and we're going to really go after those guys and see what we can do.
Thanks, Coach Grice. We'll be covering the West Bloomfield Lakers all season long under the Friday night lights as this football season kicks off at the end of this month. And yesterday marked the first day of MHSAA football practices. the West Bloomfield Lakers took the field to start the preparation for their first game on August 25th at Sterling Heights Stevenson. The Lakers have some big talent on their roster this year with guys like Samaj Morgan and Amir Herring, who have both committed to play ball at the University of Michigan next fall in maize and blue. It is going to be an exciting season for the West Bloomfield Lakers. We have lots to cover regarding this team, and the coaching staff always does a great job of keeping us up to date on everything going on within West Bloomfield Laker football. So we are definitely excited to be there all season. For those of you who don't know, sports is my passion. And yesterday, I got the chance to live out one of my dreams covering the Detroit Lions training camp. I checked out all the action as the players grind on the field every day to see who will be on the roster when the season officially starts.
Detroit Lions training camp is 2 weeks in, and position battles are hot, especially kicker. Austin Seibert and Riley Patterson played each other years ago, and now they find each other at the professional level competing to be the Detroit Lions kicker.
So we actually played each other in high school. Yeah. He's from Edwardsville, I'm from Belleville, same conference.
Patterson is confident he has what it takes to be an NFL kicker, coming off a rookie campaign where he went 13 of 14 on field goals with a long of 49.
Yeah, I definitely believe I can. I feel like I kind of proved that last year that I can play, and I'm building confidence really after each practice, and I feel like I'm getting better and better as well. My legs getting back underneath me too, so I have a lot of confidence.
But when head coach Dan Campbell spoke to the media yesterday, he said Seibert is ahead in the battle right now.
Yeah, but I thought they both did a good job, but I felt really good about Seibert. I feel like he's just, right now, if you're asking me today, he's a tick better.
Even though Seibert's strong camp has caught the coach's attention, Patterson still trusts his abilities to kick for Detroit.
Well, I have a lot of confidence in myself and the things that I can do. I can't really control what Austin does. Austin's great. I have no problems with him. We're friends, but I'm going to do what I can do to the best of my ability. I have complete confidence in myself. I feel like I'm an NFL kicker, and I want it to be here. I want to play for Detroit.
Patterson is not the only one who believes in himself. Seibert may be ahead, but this battle is not over. Patterson is still right in it.
Patterson's still not banging away. It's not like he's not in there, and we still got a long camp to go.
Like Coach Campbell said, there is still a lot of preseason football to be played. The Lions will be in action this Friday against the Atlanta Falcons for their preseason opener at Ford Field. And Seibert and Patterson will continue to battle for the regular season roster spot.
We're going to take a quick break here on The Splash, and when we come back, I'll be joined by Gayle Taub, fitness trainer and nutrition coach. Thanks for being with us.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Can I ask you a question?
Can we do 2 minutes?
When do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
No, it's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water.
No, it's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water. And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Let's whoop it up for these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabi Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Let's whoop it up for these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Erica Jones. Thank you for staying with us. I'm now joined by Gayle Taub, fitness trainer and nutrition coach in West Bloomfield. Gayle, it's been a few weeks since we've gotten the chance to talk to you. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Erica. Nice to be here.
Great. We are so happy to have you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between moving and exercise, where I'm at and where I'm going in my workout. So first, what is the difference between moving and exercise?
So first, when you think about yourself, you want to think about where you're at today. If you are truly a sedentary person, someone who really doesn't get up much and walk around or move throughout the day in your daily efforts, Walking or getting up simply to stretch and move could just be your exercise and a good place for you to start. But if you're someone who is, up and around every day and feeling like, you're moving and the walking or the actual moving is normal for you, that's not necessarily what you need to be doing to exercise. I like to think of exercise as when your heart rate comes up, you're out of breath, and when you're sweating, not because it's hot outside, but because your energy is being used in your body. And the two are very different, moving and exercise.
So is that to say if I'm not out of breath, I'm probably not necessarily getting a good workout, excuse me?
Perhaps. There's a lot of ins and outs there. Blanket statements aren't usually the best way to go, but as a guide, yeah, your heart rate should come up in the work that you're doing. You should be sweating a little bit. Everybody sweats a little differently, some more than others, but you should feel like you've exerted more energy in a concerted amount or a concentrated amount of time than doing a walk or just simply moving.
So if I have just no idea where to start, how do I know if I'm the person that should just be getting up and going for a walk or if I need something a little bit more intense?
Yeah, great question. So, thinking of yourself, you might want to kind of look at the last maybe few weeks of, your days. Have you done any exercise? Have you made a concerted effort to take a period of time, get that heart rate up and sweat? Or perhaps you're a walk taker, someone who goes out to walk. So you really want to kind of start somewhere that you think logically. Just use your logic. It's not much more difficult than that. And make it consistent. Do what you're doing today more consistently, pay attention, and then know then in a week or two, you might want to crank it up a notch once you recognize what you really do in an honest way. Sometimes we think we do more than we do or eat better than we do. It's just something that happens. So being aware, giving yourself a few days or even a few weeks to recognize and notice, and then see if you can crank it up.
I want to make sure I'm doing enough, but where do I draw the line between enough and too much? How can I tell if I'm doing too much?
Yeah. If your recovery, if you are in the gym every day or you're running a lot or you're doing something excessive on a regular basis, which is wonderful, the best, healthiest people recognize that rest, actual rest, is part of being healthy. You must give your muscles, give your heart rate, give all of those things a rest. So if you are exercising without taking a day or two off a week, you might want to think through how much rest you're actually giving yourself. Maybe if you're someone who likes to move every day and you're thinking maybe you go a little too hard and now your energy is being swept away and you're feeling sore all the time, that is a good indicator that you need a day or two of rest. But also recognize that if you're that active, then a day of rest might mean stretching, not getting your heart rate up, but moving and feeling good about. You can still go to the gym, but maybe you're not doing as much as you normally would on those 1 or 2 days.
You talk about recovery and whether I'm doing reps at the gym and taking a couple minutes in between each set, or I'm taking a day off or 2 days off a week, like you said, in between my workouts. Can you tell us exactly what that does for your body and how that rest benefits you?
Well, if you can imagine when you're exhausted and your muscles or your body is exhausted, you can't act at your best. There's a reason that we need to sleep every night and refresh ourselves. Our body takes a scientific moment, if you will, to refresh and reboot. It is part of who we are as human beings. So if you imagine you need rest at night in order to rest your entire body, your muscles need rest too. Think about the last time that you didn't rest. Think about how exhausted and how effective that exercise had become if you didn't rest. Now take a day or two off. And while maybe you have to fight to do that sometimes, notice that next workout. It will feel much different, more than likely. And you will notice how important it is to rest that body and give those muscles a minute to relax and to recharge.
So if I need a little bit of change in what I'm doing, whether it's adding days off into my workout or anything else it might be, how do I make changes that feel good and work for me or anyone else personally?
So always look at where you're at today. And if you're looking at it in terms of adding a few minutes to the workout, maybe that's one way to go. Taking the time to notice that maybe 3 days a week you are working out for an hour or 30 minutes. Maybe you could add a little bit of time to that particular workout, or perhaps add a fourth day, but maybe not the full 30 minutes on the fourth day, maybe just half of that time to get that started and to increase. The short answer to your question is look and see where you're at and see how you can add just a little bit. If you're finding that you're adding too much, more than likely you're going to be extra sore. That's a good thing and not such a good thing sometimes. You got to be careful with that. Maybe you add that time and you do it in small steps. So maybe a rep or two more, or a few more minutes, or an extra day, but partial. Those kinds of steps oftentimes help you to stride and find that stride moving forward.
And how do I know if the change I made was right for me?
How do you feel? You got to think about how you feel. If you feel good, if you feel like you've done your body good, let's say that you're not moving very much at all and you're more on the sedentary side. Notice how you feel when you get up once or twice a week or wherever you start to take that walk. And it's a physical feeling that you might notice, but also it's a mental feeling as well. There's a proud feeling. I think they have this saying, I've used it, everybody's seen it. I regret that workout, said no one ever, right? Most people, once you get over that hump and you do something, you have a very, very high confidence level. You boost that proud feeling, you boost the positivity, you know you can do it, and you want to ride on those coattails. So it's both how you're feeling physically and what it feels like up here and in your heart.
You talked a little bit about being sore. How long should I be sore for, and how hard should I push through that soreness? When do I know I should maybe take a step back because of specifically how sore I am, and when can I keep going and fight through that soreness?
Love it. Yeah, there's a lot of people that battle this one. Gosh, I'm going to start with the word balance to start that answer off. Most people like that feeling of soreness. It feels like you've done something and you're proud of that effort that you put in. Should you have trouble walking around the next day and you can't lift your arm to wash your hair in the shower or bend down to pick up the clothes on your floor, whatever it might be, once in a while, that's okay. Right? It depends on how you got there, but that's okay. Too much of anything isn't amazing, right? You have to be careful. Having said that, some soreness does mean that you worked some muscle groups and does mean and is an indicator that you did exercise and did some good for your body. Sometimes that soreness takes a minute though. At times you might get stiff that night and then loosen up. Don't be afraid of it. Try and move. The body wants to move. So there's some chemical reactions that happen in the body. Movement, right when you feel that soreness and stiffness coming, is the very best thing that you can do. There are times though that there's an official term for this, and it's called delayed onset muscle soreness, and that is 2 days after you work out, it might hit you and you might feel, whoa, my muscles are sore. So as long as that lasts just a day or two, the more you get moving and don't be afraid of it, the better off you're going to be.
I've thought a lot about that delayed onset soreness like you talked about. I experienced that a lot when I was trying some new workouts, and I'm not totally sure if it's related, but it might be the same thing. About a couple months ago, I had a tooth pulled, and the day after it hurt, but the 2 days after, I couldn't get that out. It was really, really bad. Those nerves, muscles, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know how much you know about oral stuff, but if that relates, do you know at all?
So the idea that the body has to heal is really the overarching concept that you're talking about. We injure ourselves, we work our muscles a little too hard. The body needs to heal. That's another indicator that rest is important. That's how the body actually heals in some ways, is that rest. So when I talk about movement, we're talking about moving. We're not necessarily, if you worked your biceps and you're super sore, I'm not suggesting you go to the gym the next day and work the biceps again. But I am suggesting to stretch your arm, to move, to feel, and to work maybe another body part, or get your cardio up so that your body can produce that chemical and you can flush out that chemical that is making you sore. So it kind of is related, Erica, in that the body needs time to heal. But while you're doing that, you might not stop eating while your mouth is hurting. You're not going to stop moving when your muscles hurt.
Gayle, just one more question for you this morning on a different note. With the changes in weather we're going to be seeing in the next month, sadly, as it gets colder outside, and just with all the rain we've been having lately, if my workout routine is normally outdoors, how do I successfully transition that to an indoor workout where I can be successful when I can't get outside?
Yeah, that's great. So think about what you enjoy doing first. That's number one. Number two, think about how you can take those kinds of things indoors. If you're a runner, maybe you take it inside for the treadmill work. If that is not appealing to you, then perhaps in the winter you take up maybe a little bit of weight training. I'm not even talking about heavy, but a different kind of exercise that maybe you like to do when it's that off month of being outside. The other part of it is maybe think about pushing the threshold just a little bit with regard to being outside. So if you have to put on a hat or a scarf, could you still do your run? Now, be careful with the ice, right? If we get bad weather in the winter, that's another story. But can you still go outside when it's a little misty? Is that acceptable to you or not? So maybe you push the threshold of being outside, and maybe you think about other activities or similar activities that you enjoy to bring them inside. And perhaps you seek out someone like me or another trainer to help you figure that part out.
Gayle, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We always appreciate hearing from you and all the great insight that you provide for us.
Awesome. I love to be here. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thank you, you too. And that's going to do it for this Tuesday's edition of The Splash. Thank you so much for being with us. We will be back tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. on Civic Center TV, Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, on the web at civiccentertv.com, on our Facebook app, and you can listen to us live on the radio. I'm Erica Jones. We'll see you tomorrow morning.